So does it feel exciting for you to be here?
Every day I'm excited about living here. I think when I leave the country for a 2-week trip, I feel completely discombobulated because so much changes in just a 2-week period.
You know, I've heard that. You're not the first person who said that. They said, you know, if you go on for a couple of weeks or months, you come back, it's different.
Yeah, you really feel the changes. Tall buildings go up in a matter of months. They put up a mall about 2 minutes away from my house that I went away for a vacation, came back a month later, and it opened. And I didn't even know they were constructing it. And the mall is huge.
So do you have any doubt that the future belongs to China?
The future of the world is China. It's an unstoppable force. And so the United States needs to learn how to deal constructively and proactively with China. You can't stop its growth.
Is this a good thing for society, for the world, for the billions of people on the planet?
It doesn't have the same sense of human rights that the United States has. So I think the world needs to be prepared for a different type of superpower. And it will change, and it will be tough for some countries and some people to be living in a Chinese-run world.
So how much is China still reeling from its colonial past when Europeans ran this country, did what they want?
Chinese have a long memory, and that's why in the trade war with the United States right now, they're not just thinking about Trump in the last 6 months. They're thinking about being humiliated by the British and the Europeans and the Americans a century ago.
So they're saying, we remember colonialism, and don't try it again.
Exactly, and that's why we need to push back against the United States bullying.
Your son, is he going to live in a world that is more free or less free? And is China's rise contributing to that? You know?
I think the future of the world, as China rises, the world will be less free. There's pros and cons of that. The pro is you can go out and walk on the street, but you also don't have the same freedom of speech.
This kind of speaks volumes of where we are in China, no? In a rickshaw, going down the street, and then one of the tallest buildings in the world.
And when I first moved to China, that whole area was basically just swampland.
That is amazing to think about. That whole area was just, it wasn't there. I'm from New York. New York always looked like New York. You know, when I was a kid, it looked like it does today, more or less. All right, here we are. That's quite festive.
It is.
Oh, look at this.
So there's bright colors, it's a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite places in Shanghai to bring tourists because it shows ancient China and the architectural designs along with the bustling consumerism of modern China today.
So you have one son.
I have an 11-year-old son.
And are you happy here? I mean, you with your wife, your son, do you have a comfortable life here?
I love living in China. I could live anywhere in the world, and I choose to live in Shanghai because I think it's the most fun cosmopolitan city in the world. When you're living here, you really feel as if you're living in the future of the world, not just in business, but also in life.
And your background, you're not obviously born here.
I'm actually from Concord, New Hampshire.
Concord, New Hampshire.
So a population of 35,000 people, and I've been living in Shanghai, a city of 24 million, for the last 16 years.
But you do have some Chinese heritage.
I do. So I'm half German Jew, and I'm half Chinese on my mother's side. I lived in the Philippines and in South Korea for a while, and when I met with political and business leaders in the 90s, they all said, we have to learn how to deal with the rise of China. Yeah. So I figured I should come here, learn the language, learn the culture, and then be able to serve as a bridge between the United States and China in the future. And that's what I dedicated my career to.
And you learned Chinese here as an adult? Or did you grow up speaking it?
I learned Chinese in school, and I've been speaking here. I actually hired a tutor one-on-one to teach me for 3 hours a day for many years. It's not an easy language to learn. No. My son still says that I speak like a little kid. Let me show you something, Richard. This is really cool. This is where you have traditional Chinese culture meet modernity. So in the past, you would have proverbs on a little piece of paper, but now you can take your mobile phone, you can scan the QR code.
That's pretty cool. each one is different?
Each one is different, and it has a riddle or a game for children to learn these proverbs. And most of them are about teaching morality or about having happiness.
And what does this one say?
This one is a riddle that's talking about how you can have a better quality of life in the coming years if you behave properly.
Lantern fortune cookies. You've been here for a couple of decades now, right?
Yes.
How are people feeling? I mean, do they feel they are living in the old China anymore?
No, it's completely different. 40 years ago, Richard, a lot of people could barely eat meat. It was a luxury. You could maybe have meat once a week, and some people once every couple of months.
So when you look at this, everyone's out buying, spending, eating.
But now you look, you have Haagen-Dazs and KFC in the background. You have a lot of people walking around with Canada Goose and Montclair jackets. China is going to actually become the largest retail market in the world in 2019, replacing the United States as the biggest market for consumption.
So it's not even the same country.
It's a totally different country. I don't feel like I'm living in the China that I moved to 20 years ago.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.